And now for something completely different.
This is Winging It, the somewhat whimsical, certainly whirring, decidedly wonky, seldom weighty, endlessly well-intentioned, we swear, and wildly witty show about music where one knows what's coming and the other one doesn't. Now, you're sitting there saying, well, what's with the completely different part? That's the same shit you do every time. No, it is completely tonight is completely different on so many levels.
Wow.
It's a very unique show, and as you know, we do 2 in one night.
I'm pretty excited.
We're actually not in both studios. We're in both studios west tonight. This is for both studios west.
Shit.
Now, I know what you're thinking. It's like, you fucking yo-yo's got 2 studios. It's like,
we do.
Well, in a way, it's like we have unlimited number of studios.
Thank you.
Answer my own question. And when the President of the United States, this is how it works. The President of the United States gets on a plane, it automatically becomes what?
Air Force One.
Right. And when we sit in front of mics, it automatically becomes both studios. So this is both studios west, and it's Christina's place.
Yeah.
And which is great because I have an excuse now to be like absent-minded and totally run the show into a ditch because the dog is here. That precious, beautiful animal we've talked about before, Penelope, is here, and I can see her. So you expect me to focus on talking about this, it simply isn't going to work. And besides the location, we know we have like a home team advantage. Well, we're all home. We're all the home team here, so there is no real advantage, but it's nice and beautiful and comfy here. And did I mention the dog? I'm sure I did.
I think you might have mentioned it.
Hey, Penny baby, what a sweetheart. Okay. Yeah, that's what it's going to be like tonight, folks.
It is going to be that way.
Okay. The second thing is, Christina finally got wise to the fact that she was doing all the work. I'd like to think I helped her in that epiphany because I joke about it on every single episode of every show.
That could help a little bit.
But she finally was. The last show, as she told you, she drafted Bruce into picking the features.
That's right.
And this time, the lot fell to me. Little did she know, I had already decided to present Winging It for the first time. And that means she doesn't know it's coming. And I do. And, it's so different, and it's honestly it takes a firm hand, a steady hand on the helm there, and I just don't think I'm up to it. So I did some discreet polling. 27 of the respondents said the ensuing show would be a fiasco. 33 called it a debacle. Waiting to happen, and the other 40 living in the UK said it would probably be a complete balls up. So, thank you for the vote of confidence, everybody. I am completely with you on that. You are bone of my bone on that issue. Winging It happens between both properties to ensure you can spend anywhere from 15 to 180, worst case scenario, with us every week. So now, you're going to love the prog rock one. Okay. So now, the moment I've been waiting for, the big reveal. Today I think is of special interest to us because, you see, folks, if we haven't dwelled on it enough and rubbed it in your faces enough, we are both lyricists.
Look at that.
And tonight's Winging It has to do with lyrics themselves. The subject, top 25 opening lines of songs. And for this, I referred to any number of sources, including Reader's Digest. I'm kidding you not.
Oh, my fuck.
TheNewDaily.com, YardBarker.com, WhatCulture.com, and BuzzFeed. And don't you just love BuzzFeed? It's like, this is like legitimately iconic, man. That's the way they talk on BuzzFeed.
I actually like BuzzFeed a
really?
lot. Yeah.
Oh, I've seen some dippy articles on this one. At least it's like, wow, those lyrics are like literally fire. It's like, no, if they were literally fire, when you played a record, your house would burn down. So no, it's
all right. BuzzFeed, I love you.
Consult the dictionary, please.
And thank you for your help.
They didn't actually say that. That's an example. We like to take embellishments like that here.
We do.
The top 25 opening lines of songs. Now, we write lyrics, so we love words. We think words are important. Sometimes I think words hit you the hardest when there's been a big, dramatic tour de force intro. Like, by the time he says, the sirens are screaming and the fires are howling way down in the valley tonight, you've already been, like, rocked the half out of your mind. And it's a good opening line, too. But there are ones that came. I consulted multiple lists because, honestly, there's a lot of shit on there that I never heard before, and it'd be kind of hard to weigh in on. But There are there's a lot of overlap, so I'm compiling them together, and we're going to take a look at some of the top songs, and then I'll ask you top opening lines of songs, and ask you what you think of them. Do they impress you or not?
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
That don't impress me much.
You know what? One thing that didn't appear on any of the lists. Like I said, there are ones that appear on multiple lists, but nobody said "White Rabbit" by Jefferson Airplane. And a reader did, though. A reader said, "What about that?" And I think about it. One pill makes you larger, and one pill makes you... It's pretty good with the music. And you got to remember, she built this city.
You had to remind me of that horrible, desperate, pathetic time.
I'm going to scavenge that episode for that same lame joke. It's the Jefferson Airplane did not build any city, okay? Although they probably were instrumental in the construction of a number of VD clinics. So
for sure. I would say that's a sure thing.
Thankfully, that one worked the second time. All right. Okay. Well, let's start spitting out some examples without citing precisely where they come from, because that's way too much fucking work. This is different because I'm doing it this week, and I realize not only did I have to drive to both studios, but I had to do the features and winging it. So I'm doing all the pain in the ass stuff that she usually does. Showbiz sucks. Let me just say that. You better appreciate this, and please tell us so. All right, let's look at some examples here. We come from the land of the ice and snow, from the midnight sun where the hot springs flow. Opening track in Led Zeppelin 3, Immigrant Song. Is that a good opening line to you?
I think so. I absolutely think it's a powerful line. I think it draws you in. Although they say it so fucking fast, it's hard to know that that's what they're saying.
It only gets worse later in the song. That part, at least, you can get.
It's kind of a quick. It's kind of almost like a rap moment. It's just really fast.
How many of us went your entire damn life without knowing that the line is always sweep with the flashing or? I had no idea
no
that's
way.
what he was saying.
There's no way.
I read that and I'm like, that's what the fuck he's been saying all this time? Yeah.
That's a brilliant first line.
Uh-oh. Get ready. Here's one that I can see the illumination of your countenance when I read this. From the Purple Rain soundtrack, Prince and the Revolution with Let's Go Crazy. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life.
Fucking brilliant. I'm sorry. It is iconic thing to say. And to hear it with the organ, are you fucking kidding me? It grabbed me the first time I ever heard it. I was like, oh, what the hell is that? I'm at a funeral. No, I'm not at a funeral. What the hell's going on?
The intro is solid. It sounds like a wedding, a funeral, or both. Yep. The intro is solid gold, and then it goes into just one of the hottest rockers, insane guitar solos, just pure rock and roll genius. This song is iconic, and that opening line, not only the delivery but the words themselves, both totally sizzle.
1,000%. Yep. Fucking Prince, come on.
All right, here's one for you. I will survive. Gloria Gaynor. First I was afraid. I was petrified.
Yeah, I'm kind of out on that one.
Okay. Yeah, I could take it a little bit. I like the song, but it doesn't like you go, I don't know. I can't relate to it.
I'm sorry, it's just a little whiny,
a little whiny, yeah.
At first I was afraid. I was petrified. I don't give a shit. Get your shit together.
Good song, though. Love the song, though.
Good song. I've heard it, I think 1,000 times too many, but otherwise a very good song.
I got to say, there is nothing, the next example, there is nothing about this lyric that's exceptional.
Okay.
But it's the way it's delivered makes it like top of the mountain stuff.
Okay.
Queen, don't stop me now. Tonight, I'm going to have myself a real good time. That's a pretty banal line, but... Your blood chills when you hear it, though, because because the song is just that good. As an opening line, honestly, it's nothing.
Doesn't do anything to me.
Nothing, yeah.
But the delivery, like you said, the delivery can make or break it.
Yeah.
It can be the best fucking line ever, but if the delivery is shit, then you're like, oh.
Yeah, and when you hear it, you love it, but it's not because of the lyric. There's nothing thought-provoking about it.
No.
Any moron can say, tonight I'm going to have myself a real good time, but only Freddie Mercury could move you with it like he does.
He could pretty much say, turn left, and you'd be like, oh my God, that was so amazing. I'm having such a good time.
Having a ball. All right, next one up. You all know it. You all love it, I hope. I pray to God. The Animals, House of the Rising Sun. Old song, but theirs is acknowledged by everybody. The definitive version of the song that's been covered about almost as much as yesterday, I swear.
What is it? Helter Skelter.
Helter Skelter, right? There is a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun. Strictly speaking, as a lyric, it's nothing big.
No.
But when you hear it, you go, yeah, baby, yeah. Divorced from the music, it's not that great a line. No. What about this next one? Kansas, carry on, wayward son. Carry on, my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Only because you know what's coming.
Yeah.
It's not the lyric itself. It's funny how often it's not the words.
It's true. I mean, you're right. It's not. And I do not love that song. I know it's sacrilegious, but yeah, that first line is, because of the harmonies and everything, it's pretty powerful.
It absolutely is. Hello, is there anybody in there? That's like Pink Floyd, Comfortably Numb.
But the way that it's delivered, hello, it's just like, fuck.
And David Gilmour in that solo.
Come on.
And a lyric contest on a piece of paper, the line is nothing
It's
itself.
shit. It's nothing. But man, the delivery is
Can't beat it. Powerful. Here's another one. Powerful, evocative lyric that on paper, I never thought about it before because I've loved it for so many years. I go, oh, yes. But on paper, Styx's Renegade. Oh, mama, I'm in fear for my life from the long arm of the law.
That is a chilling fucking line to me. Even just saying it right now, it chills me to the bone. But then the way it's delivered on that song, the first time I ever heard it, I thought, oh my fucking God, what's going to happen next? I'm in.
And what happens next grabs you even harder.
Oh my God.
We're talking about Hangman. We're talking about
brilliant.
A person who's telling his mom he's in fear. I mean, it is so powerful. That one gets you in word and in deed. The music, the lyric, everything gets you about that one.
That's probably, honestly, one of the most powerful ones that I've had that just grabbed me by the throat. Like, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, Tommy Shaw was written and sung by Tommy Shaw. He fucking killed it.
Killed it.
And that blister is a little bit of a flip for them. That blistering solo in the middle, James Young. Absolutely fantastic.
Very nice. Yeah. That song just, wow.
Okay, when they said this, the first one that came to mind is the next one up.
Okay.
Totally nails it. Please allow me to introduce myself.
Fuck,
I'm a man.
I totally was thinking of that when you said what the topic was.
I'm a man of wealth and taste.
Come on.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
With all that percussion.
All the percussion.
Shit.
It doesn't hurt
that
it was used in Interview to a Vampire.
I saw that and I forgot that altogether.
At the very end, and it's fucking brilliant how they use it. But it gave it a resurgence. But it's a brilliant first line. All that percussion, like you said, it's brilliant.
And just like Renegade, the second line, that's Rolling Stones' Sympathy for the Devil. Sorry, folks. That one I figure you probably all know, but I cannot assume.
Cannot assume.
Rolling Stones' Sympathy for the Devil from the album Beggar's Bank, which I bought right around the time I got out of high school. I mean, that was so long ago.
Wow.
And just like Renegade, the second line grabs you even harder. I've been around for a long, long year, stole many a man's soul and faith. The song is just an amazing narrative.
So great.
Totally not. First one that came to my mind, one of the first ones came to your mind.
It was the first one that came to my mind, to be honest.
On every single list. The Rolling Stones have a knack for nailing that first line. I mean, I was born on a crossfire hurricane. Who thinks
what the fuck?
Who thinks of shit like that? I mean, even the deep cuts, went out walking through the wood the other day and the world was a carpet laid before me. They're fucking brilliant. This is one that everybody knows, but it's, what do you think of the lyric? Don McLean, American Pie. A long, long time ago, I can still remember how that music used to make me smile. I seem to recall that you weren't that fond of this song.
That first line sucks. The song sucks. I don't get it. And it's like 7 years long. I can't. I just can't.
Yeah, two sides of a 45.
Yeah.
I mean, it's classic. I don't think I've ever turned it off or anything. I've played it. And blah, blah, blah.
I've turned it off so many times. It starts and I'm like, oh, is there anything else? I don't care what it is. I will change it. It's just too much. But.
This is one I didn't think of right away, but I think belongs big time. Sound of Silence by Simon and Garfunkel. Hello, Darkness, my old friend.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Fucking iconic. Come on.
Jesus. That first line, that whole song is just so haunting and beautiful and painful and magical that first line is like, who hasn't felt that way? Who hasn't?
And the original story about that, which I think I've mentioned on the show before, once, twice, 400 times. The Paul Simon did not originally like drums in the song. That's madness. I'm sorry, he was wrong. I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm so happy somebody led him
Paul?
To see the error of his ways. I mean,
there's so many errors of his ways, but that was one of them.
He was astray on that one. Okay.
Yes,
but great line. We both agree. Now, interestingly enough, that one appeared on many lists, and so did this one. There must be some kind of way out of here, said the Joker to the thief. Jimi Hendrix's version of All Along the Watchtower. Nothing special. Interesting, they always quote that one, and Dylan didn't actually write it like that. His says there must be some way out of here, not some kind of way out of here. So
yeah, some kind of way irritates me.
Yeah,
but
there must be some way out of here.
I mean,
the Dylan
that's
original.
better.
Yeah.
But either way, I'm like,
Yeah, the song gets great.
It does get great.
And honestly, I think Bob Dylan got better as a lyricist over time, and that was a superb song anyway. Well, here's one that's a little unusual. Warren Zevon, Werewolves of London.
Oh.
I saw a werewolf with a Chinese menu in his hand. That's kind of a strong opening. Yeah.
You're like, well, first of all, I mean, the song itself, you have to kind of go, okay, I'm going to go with you on this one, see what happens. But that's a good one. You're like, he has a what in his hand?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's a great song. It's a fucking great song. But yeah, I mean, powerful first line, no. Odd, interesting first line, yes.
Does the job first line?
Does the job, yes.
I mean, you don't know you're going to be hearing about the Queen and Lon Chaney and all
That's
this
true.
stuff.
You don't know that. You don't know what's coming.
And little old ladies getting mutilated. No idea whatsoever.
I hate
this
it
is
when
coming.
that happens.
God, that
Damn.
sucks. I mean, but by the time that happens, you're in already.
You're in. That's true.
So
it's
yeah,
a great song.
It's classic, yeah. I got to say, I'm not a big fan of rap, but this is one that really began on a very strong note. Coolio's Gangsta's Paradise. Also, I swear, parodied by Weird Al Yankovic as Amish Paradise.
And he got really pissed.
Yeah. As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's not much left. That's actually a really strong opening.
It's a good opening, and the
even though they did kind of plagiarize it. I mean, yeah.
Well, and the musical accompaniment and the whole feel of it is pretty dramatic, and it gets you. And I do think it's a great, first opening line. And I do really like a lot of rap. I like old school rap even better, but I like a lot of rap. But most of it was not quite as poignant as that.
No, the little Psalm 23 quote there, and it really, that packs a punch. And
it does.
What ensues is not bad either. Rap was actually good once. I occasionally am reminded of this, that rap was actually once something you wanted to listen to a little bit.
And I still go back and listen to old school.
Beatles, A Day in the Life. I read the news today, oh boy. Nothing special unless you know the song. So as a line, it only works because of the song, and anything would work that you put there.
I don't know. I don't like that as a first line. And there's something I have an issue with that. Oh boy, I just can't. I'm just like, I read the news today. Would have been good enough for me, but the oh boy, I just can't. You lose me there. You lose me.
Now, scanning the rest of the list, there are many that are not remarkable apart from the song itself, like Elton John, Your Song. It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside, only because of the tender way that it's sung and because of the song. That's why it works. So,
and there's something really sweet about it. So
yeah.
You go, oh, that's so sweet.
There are some sweet lyrics that are coming, too, if I remember correctly. There's a lady who's sure all that glitters is gold, and she's buying a Stairway to Heaven. It gets great, but mostly the music sells it.
I mean, I think that's a very interesting line. It's a, I don't know, it kind of opens it up to, you're going to go on a fantastic ride, and I'm kind of in. So it's interesting. It's an interesting first line.
As is the next one, which the artist, at least, is near and dear to your heart, even if the line isn't particularly striking. Well, I guess it would be nice if I could touch your body. George Michael, Faith.
It's not. I like the I guess it would be nice. For some reason, I thought it's kind of good, and I like the rhythmic. But if I could touch your body, I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, right.
That's just like, can I touch a boobie? It just sounds weird to me. But I love the song, but I don't love that line at all.
No, and this next one is a song that I think develops a nice tension between two different characters that are singing to each other. But the opening line is nothing special, the opening couple of lines. You were working as a waitress in a cocktail bar. Human League, don't you want me? When I met you, it already starts out hostile, and that's a kind of a cool thing and an interesting thing.
Well, what I like about that opening line is I'm like, I will have to hear more about this fucking story. Who gives a shit where she was working? But it reels me in because I'm like, I've got to know about this story. What does it matter that she was working there? So it totally reeled me in. Is it a great opening line? No. But is it interesting? Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And you don't realize that, here comes this kind of obnoxious guy starting the song out.
Yeah.
And you don't realize somebody's going to come along and push back on his shit.
Yeah.
And it's a fascinating conflict there. And the opening line gives a hint of that.
It does.
But you can only do so much with a line or two. And as we've seen, sometimes it ain't the words.
Well,
but this one was.
One of the things that I really like about that song, too, is that much is true. Like, it's kind of a mocking tone, too. I fucking love that.
Okay, yeah, you got this part and everything, but forget the rest
right.
of it,
Exactly.
I didn't necessarily need you to get out.
That's right. I just loved it.
Yeah, it is great. That was actually covered by Bad Mary. Very interesting version of that one. All right. I'm one of those people who just loves Kurt Cobain's lyrics, even though they don't really make a lot of sense. I love the way he strings them together and delivers them. As in the case of Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit, also parodied by Weird Al Yankovic. Load up on guns, bring your friends. It's fun to lose and to pretend. He's certainly opened with lesser lines than that one. I kind of like the beginning there.
I think it's really powerful and it's really dark. And it puts you in the right place to hear the rest of the song, and I really like that. All right, yeah, all that's going to be on tape.
She got me a straw for my beverages, okay? Not the heavy metal straw that I had before, but an actual plastic straw so you wouldn't hear it on the show, on the mic. And then I go slurping.
I can only hope this will end up on the cutting room floor. But
of course it won't. Okay.
That was I do that too. I just don't have a straw right now.
Here's one that, there are three. There's the music, there's the delivery of the vocal, and the line itself. This one, say your prayers, little one. Don't forget, my son, to include everyone. On paper is no great shakes, but then when you hear the delivery of James Hetfield, it takes on an entirely different tenor.
Yeah, he can make anything terrifying and make you take a second look at anything and make you fearful of simple things like
Sad
sleeping.
But true. Love. All right, you got to give it to old Kate Bush for writing Wuthering Heights and the opening line, out on the wily windy moors we'd roll and fall in green. You had a temper like my jealousy, too hot, too greedy. Definitely going the artsy route with the opening. The vocal sells it, though, I think. But it's trying to paint a picture, unlike a lot of lyrics.
I like Kate Bush, but I don't always like her delivery of everything. And this one didn't do anything for me. I like it. I'd like it better if it was like a Def Jam poetry moment where somebody was just kind of saying it than that particular.
What about Pat Benatar's version?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That was the first I had heard of it, actually. The first time I heard the song was Pat. It was like, oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
She totally nailed it. All right, everybody knows this one, too. Hotel California, Eagles. On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair. Warm smell of colitis rising up through the air. The moody music really, really nails it. But it's not a bad line either. It's not a bad pair of lines either.
No, I agree. I love the lines, and I love the lead-in. The lead-in, I don't know without that lead-in if it would have worked as well, but there's something, too, about the alliteration on a dark desert highway. I don't know why the dark desert hits really hard. And then, of course, right away, I'm like, what the hell is colitis or whatever in the hell it is? So I had to look that up right away to figure out what the hell that was. But I fucking love that song. I do. And I think that's a great opening line.
Yeah, I would have to say it was. And another one that you might approve of, I have a funny feeling. This is the end. Beautiful friends. The end.
Absolutely destroys me.
My
so great.
Only friend. The end.
So great.
And the music is super haunting, and his delivery just totally rules. But even on paper, that's a hell of a line.
That's a hell of a line.
That is an opening right there.
I will say.
Could Jim Morrison write some lyrics?
He absolutely write.
He absolutely could write. Much like Cobain, only a lot better, of course.
You have to tell me there's no way that Peter Gabriel's In Your Eyes isn't on there. Love, I Get So Lost Sometimes. I mean,
I consulted all those lists I mentioned, and nobody put Peter Gabriel anywhere with anything.
Oh man, that's brutal.
Here's a little bonus, since we are, as we probably mentioned in passing only, that we're lyricists, and we're here evaluating other people's best song opening lines,
Yes.
I began to wonder, I wonder what some of Christina's are of her own. What opening lines of songs do you think you kind of achieved what you set out to do in engaging the listener?
Oh, wow.
Of course, they're already, with the music, they're usually already hooked. Most of the songs, there's at least a little bit of lead-in with Bruce's whole ensemble thing going. But just from a lyrical standpoint, what do you think are some of your best opening lines? Just a few.
Shit.
Whoops. We can edit out the soul searching if you like.
I kind of need to get my record so I can think about it. I should probably get it so I could think about it.
Okay, well, what'd you come up with? Wait, whoosh. Whoosh.
Whoosh.
Okay, what did you come up with?
Well, there's a couple of songs that I wrote more recently than others, and one was In Summation, and there's just something about the lines that I like anyway. I think that it hopefully pulls you in. It's wide-eyed blindness is achieved, ulterior kindness in disbelief.
And you're right, it grabs, and you totally nailed it on that intro, and the music was already, of course, helping along.
Oh, yeah, the music set it up.
Complements it perfectly. I mean, that fucking wicked... Leslie West kind of riff. I just love that,
Yeah.
And, but yeah, great opening lines, grabby as hell. What else, babe? What else, Babu? What do you got?
Well, the other thing is the opening line to In Place of Breathing. It's pretty simple, but you don't think I hear you screaming. It's what you do in place of breathing.
This is one where you go, wait a second. I have to keep listening to find out what the hell's going on here. This is a desperate situation. This is a critical thing. And you do stay tuned, indeed.
I hope so. I mean, because that's the goal. Is it's just supposed to wait a minute. Instead of breathing, this person is screaming. That's crazy.
Yeah, like you breathe a lot,
Yeah.
So this is a person who screams a lot,
right? Instead of it, yeah. So you're like, fuck. Exactly. That's
I'm
exactly
sorry.
it. I mean, I don't know if I thought about the replay, but I think it's good.
Not perhaps 100% literally.
And I think the last one is probably the Don't Make Me. You're waiting, contemplating, it's right away. You're waiting, contemplating. Well, what are they waiting for and what are they contemplating?
Yeah, the music is really tense, too. I mean, it's very, it's very amped up. So that you're going, oh my God, what's all this waiting? And you start waiting along with them, and you don't even know what the fuck they're talking about yet.
I think those, if I had to pick, which I was not expecting, but if I had to pick, those are the three that kind of, I hope, grab you by the whatevers and pull you in. And
there are different ways of grabbing. I actually, some of my songs, I have so many songs, it wasn't hard to find some examples because I have so damn many songs out there. But there are also two different ways of grabbing people. There's grabbing people for a whimsical song and for a serious song. So sort of a wry, kind of humorous opening would be something like Call the FBI in Scotland Yard, because it's a mystery how P-Soop can rock so hard. I mean,
that'll do it.
Yeah, that's quite a boast. So, okay, you'll listen for another minute, which is about all the song lasts, by the time you figure out. So that was my It's a Mystery. On a dramatic sense, I think there's a little anxiety already created by the opening lines of House on a Hill Somewhere. It was a long time ago, but not long enough to ease the fear and the shame. And you're going, holy shit, what happened?
Yeah, it sounds pretty ominous.
Yeah, it's like, uh-oh. There's I can't look away. Oh,
Bad
God, the
shit's
dread.
about to happen. Yeah.
Something happened.
I got to know what the hell's happening here. Yeah.
They got out with their skin, but what the hell happened,
Jeez.
Lines like, did you think I was done spitting ill rhymes? Not a chance. It's still my favorite way to kill time. But, there's very little investment. It's just like it's rocking along, and you go, okay, it doesn't have to be a really weighty line. Like one for a song that I wrote and have not yet recorded, and God knows if I ever will get around to it. I don't know why I have to run. Got no idea what I'm supposed to have done. You're already dragged into, oh, shit, this is a bad deal here. What's going on?
Yeah.
That would be a future song of mine called Between Me and Death. So,
wow.
Anyway, lyrics, those, I think we agree that most of the lyrics that we cited tonight actually work like gangbusters, but not because of any shrewd manipulation of words.
Right.
It's just they happen to be handled beautifully.
Brilliantly, absolutely.
Although some of them are super powerful, though, too. We did find some of those were. But not even probably half,
No, but lyrics are important. People don't think about it a lot, because... you think about pop music, and a lot of pop music is just maybe not weighty stuff. It's just love stuff or don't fuck with me stuff or fuck you stuff. But it's not necessarily weighty and it's not taking you down a big path. It's just a pretty, A to B path. But lyrics matter. And if you go back and listen to some stuff, I mean, even like Adele and stuff, brilliant lyrics and very, very, haunting and all of that. So lyrics do matter. They do.
This is the end. Absolutely brilliant, chilling opening of Skyfall, the theme from the James Bond movie, Skyfall. Adele. Yeah, so that's a good opening line, good example of an opening line right there. All right, folks. You know what? One thing I don't recall. You handed me something whereby I might actually read the intro to Winging It. I don't know how the bloody thing ends. Let me think. I think I invite you to say something, and the thing that I used to say, I know that thing, but I don't know what you used to say. And I guess that wraps it up for this episode of Winging It, and I guess that only leaves for you to say,
let's fly this coop.
This has been Birds of a Feather on What the Flock Radio.